Hello, this is Lynn Herod-DeVerges, and I'm an affiliate with Naturally Plus. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Naturally Plus, the company, and then later in part 2 and part 3, I will share with you their dynamic products and exceptional business plan. But before I go into detail about Naturally Plus itself, let me share a little bit about myself. I was a college graduate back in 19 something or other, and my focus was to be able to go straight from undergraduate school into law school. But the reality was I didn't have a passion for law. I just wanted to practice law because I wanted to make a lot of money. So while I was deciding whether I really wanted to go to law school or not, I started working as an accountant for an insurance company until I ended up being part of a management program at a bank in the United States. I worked there pretty happily for a few years, and then they merged with a larger bank here in the US. I worked with the larger bank for about 3 years, making fantastic income, like really, really good income. But after 3 years, I realized that it wasn't where I wanted to be. That's because they didn't have any integrity. They were not a company who cared about people and cared about the customers or even the employees. So I decided to follow my heart and follow my passion, which was to go into seminary school. I did that at night while I was working at the bank during the day. When I left the bank because they just didn't have a level of integrity that I wanted to live in my life, I decided with some of my colleagues, once I graduated from seminary school, to open a store, a wonderful novelty store in San Francisco at Pier 39. Now, working at Pier 39 and owning a store there meant high costs to get started with the storefront. It also meant having a lot of inventory, paying employees, and it meant being able to, having to stay there rather, 7 days a week from at least 10 in the morning to 10 at night because that's when the store had to be open. So as the elected manager, I was actually there from 13 to 14-hour days, 7 days a week. Well, that worked for a few years, but then I just got burnt out. I was just tired, and no one else wanted to manage it. So I decided that it was time to close the store. And when I did, I wanted to really focus on my ministerial duties, to do sermons and messages, not only at the church that I was part of, but also at other churches as well. And I continued to do weddings and baptisms, and I volunteered for a while at a battered women and children's shelter to be able to give back. I've also expanded into private one-on-one spiritual mentoring sessions. Some of you may call it life coaching. And as well, I've taught classes, I do workshops, and I do retreats. But know that everything I do at this stage as a minister is on a fee-for-service basis. If I'm not working, I'm not getting paid. So I started looking around for a way that I could earn additional income for the time when I wanted to cut back a little bit, maybe even retire. One of my dreams is to be able to travel leisurely. That means being able to go anywhere in the world on a one-way ticket and stay there for a week, a month, however long I'd like to be there to explore and enjoy that country or that area, and then be able to fly somewhere else. That's the kind of freedom I'd like to have financially as well as on a time level. But even deeper than that is the fact that I want to have the income so that I can invest it and know that there's plenty of money for me and my husband to be sustained for the rest of our lives. The reason for this passion so deeply at this stage in my life is because I have a 103-year-old mother-in-law and I have an elderly uncle. both of which are at different nursing homes right now. But my husband and I are responsible for overseeing their care to make sure that they have everything they need, even through some of the ailments and the diseases that they are stricken with. So it's been quite an ordeal. Before my mother-in-law was even in a nursing home, she has dementia. She lived in her own home, and we had caregivers for her for most of the day. But it was getting very expensive to have caregivers around the clock. And when she would have episodes of banging on windows and screaming help outside the window, or calling the police, or calling an ambulance, and they would come rush to her rescue, only to find out that she really was okay. It was just the dementia. We'd have to leave dinner parties and other events where we would be in order to make sure that she hadn't fallen out of her wheelchair, to double check on her, to change her diaper, and so forth. You understand what I'm saying? Eventually, we did have caregivers that continued to be with her around the clock, but we had to start liquidating assets for that to happen, until finally we needed to liquidate all of her assets in order to put her in the home that she's in now. We're continuing to oversee consistently, several times a week, the care that she's getting, not to mention taking her to doctor's appointments and so forth. And it's pretty much the same for my uncle. I don't want my children to have to go through that. I want to be able to stay and live in my own home, continue to afford round-the-clock care when the time comes, and I don't expect that to happen until I'm about 120, because I plan to be here until 125. So in any event, I want to know that my kids can move forward in living their lives fully and not having to have their lives so interrupted that they do not have time freedom, nor is there financial freedom for my husband and I to be cared for. That's really important to me. As well, I want to know that at the time that I do make transition, that my children will be able to inherit the business and receive the income that I would like for them to have so that they can have an even better lifestyle. So for those reasons, Naturally Plus is a really great fit for me. Now, Naturally Plus is leading the world to a healthier and wealthier future. And their motto is live with integrity. Remember, I quit a high-paying job because they didn't have integrity. So at this point, at this stage in my life, I am insistent upon everything in my life be of the highest integrity. And Naturally Plus does that in terms of their culture and how the company itself operates with their products that they market and produce. Very, very high integrity. And their business plan, well, their business plan is absolutely phenomenal. Everything about this company is high quality, top rate. The mission, well, very simple, is to promote wellness and healthy living worldwide. And they do this 100% hands down. Now, Naturally Plus also offers 5 riches of a fulfilling life. That means that they offer the ability for one to become and stay healthy. They offer the opportunity of being able to increase income and have better finances. They provide a level of time freedom to do some of the things that I had mentioned before. And Naturally Plus acts very much as one huge and large family. We support each other and we help lift and hold each other up, motivate and inspire each other, because we all are choosing to have success, and no one is wanting to have greater success than another. As well, Naturally Plus really connects with the spirit in each of us to continue to grow, to be the best that we can be, by shifting, transforming those parts of our lives that may hold us back, that keep us from experiencing life to its absolute fullest. In all these ways, Naturally Plus is a very beautiful and dynamic fit. Now, according to this graph, between the ages of 35 and 65 years old, at least in the United States, people earn more than $1 million. That averages to about $3,000 a month. But at the age of 65 and after, many of us are ready to retire, at least not doing the same job that we'd been doing for years prior. Maybe the freedom to do something else. But when we choose to do that, then we receive Social Security, maybe a little pension, or we have a little bit saved up in our 401k. But no matter what, it still equals to about $1,300 a month. That's not very much. It's not enough to sustain our lifestyle. And of course, as we grow older, there's inflation. Not to mention the fact that from a health perspective, it may continue to become more and more expensive. Well, with Naturally Plus, we have the opportunity to have longevity of life based on quality of life also. We're able to have improved health, and we're able to bridge that financial gap where we literally earn as much as we did during our peak years of earning income and beyond. And I find that very exciting, very exciting. Now, Naturally Plus started in 1999 in Japan. And as you can see, it has offices in 12 different countries. The United States is actually the only Asian country that joined the group back in 2014. That's only 4 years, which means that the opportunity this company provides is at the ground floor level. Ground floor level. But it's not just here that Naturally Plus does business. Naturally Plus Global also does business in over 150 companies. That's right, or countries, I should say. Over 150 companies, they continue to do business. So no matter where you live in the world, you have the opportunity to be able to have time freedom, have financial freedom, health freedom. You're able to take advantages of this dynamic and wonderful opportunity in every way that the company provides. And they will support you. Even if you are brand new in opening this business in your country, Naturally Plus will support you 100% in every way possible. Let's look at some of the growth that's happened with a few of the countries where they are now. In Hong Kong, they have risen to 174% up to 2016, and it's continued to climb. At this point, I believe they have increased up to 190% and more. In South Korea, they have done a whopping increase in business of 510%. And this is very significant because in January of 2016, there was one woman who literally opened the country up by sharing the dynamic products and business plan with so many people that within 6 months, she had started to earn $30,000 plus per month. If she can do it in South Korea, there's no reason why the rest of us aren't able to do it as well. In the United States, sales have been increasing since the beginning in 2014. And although this is showing indication of 2017, I'm happy to report that in July of this year, 2018, the company has done $9+ million worth of business in just 4 years. That's tremendous growth. With the history of success of Naturally Plus and the newness of it in the United States, we have over 15,000 active consumers. And what that means is that there's still plenty of room to grow. This is a ground floor opportunity. If you look at the highest number on the map in California, right here, it says 4,200 active consumers. Well, that may seem like a wonderful number, but I want to share with you, being a Californian myself, just in the county of Los Angeles, Southern California, one small area of the state, we have over 5 million people here, and 4,200 people is still not enough. It's actually just 1% or even a little less. So there's lots of room to grow and to expand and to do more business. I want to point out Mr. Tajima as well on the left. He is our wonderful and dynamic CEO here in the United States, but he's also the Executive Vice President of Naturally Plus Global. He is one of the pioneers who have actually helped to come up with and do extensive research on the products and how these products and the formulas continue to improve so that they are #1 in terms of eye care in the entire world. Not only that, but in some countries, they're even considered pharmaceutical grade products. As well, he is an absolute legend in Japan because at the age of 24, he became a millionaire in the network marketing business. So he has helped to formulate and taken the best of every network marketing business that is out there, put them together, and created a very dynamic business plan that will allow all of us to be successful. The products, the business plan, with the support of Naturally Plus from the absolute top all the way down, is what makes everyone successful with this business. If you'd like to know more about Naturally Plus, then feel free to contact me, Lynn Herod-DeVerges, at Lynn for NPUSA@gmail.com. You can also call me at 213-368-6593. Give me a call and I'll show you how you can also live with integrity.